All right. We're here with Tina.
Hi.
Yeah. My better half, hanging out. We're just, down here at Pynelogs and checking out some of Tina's prints. And, we'll have her explain to us a little bit about what they're about, how they're done, and maybe a bit of the backstory. And, actually, why don't we start over here with these. So I know these are vitreographs, so they're prints that are made with glass plates instead of metal. And I guess maybe let's start with the subject matter first, and then we'll go to how the prints are done.
Okay, this series, it's from 3 plates, so it's 2 different versions of printing off of each of them. And the imagery is derived from drawings I did when I went to Nepal with my mom. And they're kind of almost like diary-like sketches just to sum up our experience. Whether it was having to make sure we had toilet paper, all the chickens that we saw, and the water buffaloes and yaks, the copious cups of tea we drank, the chickens, the various crops that we saw. I kind of did them like, I compare it to like Egyptian hieroglyphs, it's almost like a written from bottom to top, but according to elevation. That's why the mountains are at the top. And then the various crops, like the millet will be usually higher than, I can't remember, maybe the rice is lower, higher in elevation, the millet's higher up in a cooler climate.
Right.
And then all the village children and bottles of Coke. And momos, little dumplings that we sometimes have at dinner. That's about it. Anyway, they were fun to do. And I just needed an imagery source for this workshop that Ryan and I both went to at Pilchuck Glass School near Seattle a number of years ago. And so that was using glass plates, where we would put imagery on it through sandblasting was the first step. And so I had to take the images into Photoshop and make them more black and white than they were.
Yeah, because these are derived from sketches already. We just bumped up the contrast so that because it had to be either black or white, so for it to come through on the image transfer stuff. Eh?
Yeah, we use this stuff called resist. It's almost like doing a silkscreen resist. It's like a photo emulsion. So you have you put your photocopy on a transparency and then expose the emulsion. So everywhere that is dark will end up being exposed.
Right.
And so then you put this emulsion, once it's set, you kind of squeegee it onto your glass plate and you tape everything off and then you sandblast it. And then that's going to be your ink. That's going to capture the ink when you go to print.
Right.
And so the vitrograph is very similar to what they call intaglio or intaglio printing, which is the opposite of relief printing. It's where you rub the ink into the imagery versus having the imagery be a negative and you roll the ink on a surface.
Right.
And that would be a relief.
Yeah.
Similar to that would be wood block cutting or lino cutting.
Right.
With the vitriography, you can also leave color on the plate, and you can roll color on the plate depending what your imagery is. Mm-hmm. In mine, because you can't really do shading in the vitriography, which you can do in intaglio.
Right.
You can leave color on the surface, and that's called surface tinting, and that's what
these are. Right. You left a little bit on the surface, but it's generally an intaglio print, but it's then you just left a little bit of kind of like a bit of tinting on the surface too.
Yeah, and then I also strategically removed color in some places.
Yeah. Yeah.
To get more contrast.
definitely can see some of it, like in some of these places, like the bottle labels and things like that. Cool. Awesome. And then over here,
So when we were at Pilchuck, our instructor, or the course, the workshop, instructor, I guess.
yeah,
he is the department head of printmaking in the University of Hawaii in Oahu, Honolulu, Oahu, on the island of Oahu, and he invited all of the students. There's only 4 of us in that course, to go to the University of Hawaii to do a residency. So Ryan and I were able to go 2 times. Both trips were 2 years apart. And we were taught how to do lithography, which is making an imagery on a stone, limestone slab that has no impurities in it.
right.
And the process is pretty complex and pretty hard to explain, but it is very, very different than traditional image making, whether it be relief or intaglio, because this process is, the stone surface is fairly flat, and you alter the surface through chemistry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite different
So
than
it's not
traditional
physically
printmaking.
etched into the stone. You can't feel it.
It's kind of the premise of oil and water repelling each other. And yeah, which, you can get all kinds of very interesting detail. And it is reproducible, at least to a certain extent. But yeah. And when was this residency? I guess the first one was in 2016. The last one was in 2019.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Right. Cool. Well, and then also you've been in the glass shop a bit, working on some fungi.
Some fungi. It's my new sort of outlet for. It's been really good practice for using color and for learning how to sculpt glass and just working with the glass in general.
Totally.
The different color applications have been sort of the most creative. There's different reactions between different colors and different powders and different transparent colors and opaque colors that can be used.
Right. Awesome. Yeah, it's cool. And I mean, they're lots of fun. Like the colors, you can do so much stuff with, and it's such a great way to learn about using color in glass and understanding how the different colors will react with each other. And along with the technical skills of working with the jacks to create the shapes and all that kind of stuff. It's, yeah, super cool. Well, thanks.
Yeah, no worries. See you later.
Alrighty, sounds good.